And there we 25. I don't know if it comes out, but there's barely a drop coming now. So this is my start of delivery. Now So hello, in this video I want to show how to set the injection pump on a Mercedes engine with the drip method. And I did a video before where the engine was in the car, but it was pretty tight in there and I don't think it came out right. So I'm trying it again. I pulled the engine because we tried to do a willet start and it failed on the part of we have no compression. Even soaking the engine didn't free up the rings. So in this video again I got the chance to show again how to set the injector pump and check the injection timing or the injection begin with the drip method. And yeah, I hope this helps a little. So get this prepped, taking off the lines. Let's see if this one will be a little better to show. So the last video didn't kind of work out because I saw it from the story. This engine had some work to it and was a runner or had the potential to run, but then in the end we found out that this one has no compression, so it is what it is. Don't believe the stories, go for the signs. But on the other, these cars are now harder and harder to find, so every car I can find for a good price, even if it's just for parts, I try to get it home. So normally injector line, but they will be all interconnected with these bridges to support them. But you only need to get number one. You take out the delivery valve. Careful. Oop. There's a spring. And then let's see if I can grab it. Oh, there. And this is the valve part. So these two come out. Put the retainer back in. Don't force it because the valve itself, or this valve seat, is loose in there. It needs to center. And then you just get torque back. Don't over tighten it. Okay. So now I need to make some kind of a fuel system here that we can pump it through, and then we go to the next step. Okay, I hope it comes out a little. So I made this tool, some salad, it's an old injector line, and that's all you need. Otherwise it's getting a little hard to see if you just go by overflow. So in this way you see when it starts dripping. So basically the principle in it is that when the pump moves and the piston goes up, the piston has a slot on the side in it that's adjusting when it closes up by the movement of the rack, and that changes your timing, and or better, it changes your usable stroke, so the amount. So the later it closes, the less fuel you have. So if this slot closes up on full stroke, you got the most fuel, and when the rack closes, it will overflow longer and longer. so you only get less of the travel and less quantity. So we only, in the moment that the slot closes, that's when you don't get any overflow here anymore. That's when it starts injecting. Before the piston travels up, fuel can flow back through the side slot and it doesn't build up pressure. As soon as this slot gets closed, it starts compressing the fuel in the line, and that's where your delivery starts. So let's put it a little more forward. It's a messy situation, so I hope this way it's easier to see. All in view. Let's get the camera a little more in. Get a little more over here. So right now I got the, we're already at 20 degree before top dead center. Both lobes are up, so if you pump now it should be closed. Let's carefully go back. Just have to, normally you should, if you're not sure of your chain tensioner, you shouldn't go the wrong direction, but I can see what's going on here, so there it starts already flowing. Is this on there? Okay. Let's see. Okay. I hope it's on there now. So I turn the crank slowly. No, at 50, 30, the flow already goes down. And there we, 25. I don't know if it comes out, but there's barely a drop coming now. So this is my start of delivery. Now the slots of the delivery piston to the chamber are closed. Fuel can't drain back while the piston goes up, and then diesel gets pushed through the line to the injectors and injected. So this is my start of delivery, doing with the drip feed method. And if you want to be sure, you turn the engine over 2 times. I'm just, for here, since it's a little hard with the camera, do it like this again, backed it up again. So now you have full stream. $50, $30, already slows down. There we are, 25. So on this one, to be sure, I could advance it a little by pushing the whole pump towards the engine. I advanced the timing. It starts delivering earlier. If I go away from the engine, I retard the timing. It's always the engine turns clockwise, the chain goes over here. There is no pulley or anything that it changes direction. So that's your driven direction. If you turn the pump against driven direction, you will advance. If you turn it with the engine direction, you will retard. Okay, let's see if we get it on there. Hard to see on my screen. So we got the OT, which is top dead center. If I put OT on my marker, just to be sure, Your cam should also line up, and both lobes are up. So this is first cylinder, top dead center, and if you're not sure 100% about this, I guess it's not a problem like on Chevys or so that the dampener can move, but if this lines up, you should be sure. But you can also take a glow plug out or take an injector out and check the pressure and double check that your piston actually movement matches with the crank dial here in the front. But on this engine I believe it. So if we slowly back up, which yes, it's not recommended, but again, I got the valve train inside here. So now we're at 40. This is advanced. We're turning clockwise this way. So the first numbers is our advanced timing. And this is where we should be, 26. This pump was at 25. It will run for sure. But if we want to make it perfect, and then everything that comes on this side is the retard that's late. If sometimes if the engine loses compression, some people go a little higher, 28 degrees, but I kind of recommend listen how it runs. But 26 on the 621 is the right setting. I hope this shows it a little better than on my other video. And yeah, any questions, let me know. So when you're done with it, set the timing, tighten the 3 screws on the back, on the front. Sometimes there's a bracket on the back, depending where the engine sits in. You remove the overflow pipe. Take out the delivery valve. So again, there is a copper ring on top of the valve. Let's see. I can show it a little. So here is the valve seat basically. Already shows a little. This pump had either some water or dirty fuel, but still not corroded or anything. So there's a copper seal on top. This is the valve part with the seat here, the conical side. So on this stuff, you try to keep it very clean. It needs to move real easy in here. Sometimes they will gum up, especially on the gas pumps on the early fintails or late pontons that had the fuel injection where a 2-plunger pump was converted to gas. They like to gum up. On a diesel also. Sometimes if they sit forever and people don't leave the lines on or got some water. So if this is stuck, your pump will not work. It has to go real easy. This one is almost not good. But since this engine comes apart, put the copper ring on, put the spring on. It's a little finicky, but don't try to force it. Try that it settles on its own, gets into position. It's when you try too many things. Come on. So should go easy in. Take your time, and then by the manual, torque it, don't over tighten it, you don't want to damage the pump body. And then on a normal, if you don't, or if you're done, if timing is adjusted and you want your engine running, you connect the fuel lines again to the injector, or the injector lines, leave these open, prime it by hand till you have overflow, or till you feel pressure. Most times if the pressure valve in here is good, you hear a little noise from the overflow, from the spring in the seat working. But if you have some pressure, some resistance while pumping, then you should be good. Start the engine over till you see fuel coming out at the injector lines, and then you tighten them, and then your engine should fire right off. So that's basically timing all the inline pumps on a Mercedes. Sometimes they have a little different instruction, and you need to research what is your timing. The 620 OM621 is 26 degrees before. Most are in that range somewhere, and that's about it. Hope this shows it a little better than in the car. So as I said, this was the engine out of the 190D that I kind of tried a willet start with, and I was hoping I make a timing video for the injector pump, and then after that, because the timing was way off, the engine will run. But yeah, we had low compression. I'm still trying to solve what happened here, because by all the marks on the pistons and how the cylinders look, it looks like somebody rebuilt it, which was also weird. The pump was set off or put in wrong, so I don't know what the history is. So I will take this engine completely apart, but I don't have a ridge in the cylinder. Pistons are pretty tight in there. I had no compression, or 15 bar with oil. I had to give them oil to even get there, which is nothing. Sometimes I will start with 18, maybe 19, but at 15 I couldn't get it to run. So I don't know what's going on. It had a newer head gasket on it. It looks like one pre-chamber is not installed deep enough. So I don't know who worked on this engine, but I think it's good that I stopped trying to get it run and damage more, because it looks like this is a good start for engine rebuild, or go over it and get it running. Again, the next point that's important kind of is like to install the injector pump. You want to have this set at 45 before top dead center, and then you will go to your pump. Hope I can do it with one hand here. And once you remove the collar that drives the pump, you have a mark out here. Some of the newer pumps, they were missing some teeth. That's their mark. You want to verify that this and the shaft is aligned, and then on this pump it's really hard to see. You have a mark also on the pump housing, so you want to align this with the mark on the housing, and then have the engine set at 45 before the top dead center, and that's where you put the pump in. And while you slide it in, you got a little wiggle room because of this ring of the teeth. You want to have your screws that they're centered, so that you have equally enough room to move for the final timing, to set the timing right. But this is like your preset to install the pump. This has to be done, sure, when everything is on, your timing chain is on. You want to check on your timing chain that the tensioner works right, it's tight, and go from there. Okay, I don't know how it comes over, but like I said, first point, if you have the injector pump out, set the engine 45 degree before top dead center, then you line up the marks of the camshaft of the pump with its housing, slide it in, and that should be a base mark where you start. I showed a little how I do the drip feed method. Everybody makes a different line, but basically you need this bent line to see the drip. If it's in the car, you don't need to set up a fuel system or anything. It all works from the car. Just be careful if you let the engine sit without the delivery valve, and you have some build-up pressure in the tanker, so it could drain your tank through the pump if you don't watch it. So again, turn the engine around till you are like 45 degrees, 40 degrees before. Start building up pressure with the hand primer pump, and then you see the steady flow. Keep turning the crankshaft slowly forward. At 30 you should feel that your stream is already a little different, and then by the time you hit 26 degrees it should stop. That every 10-15 seconds you just have a drip, and that's it. Do it twice, tighten the pump. The next thing you have to watch a little, if you run the old style glow plugs, and you can't have the pump all the way mounted to the block. If that's, you need to pull it out, advance it 2 T's, do everything again. That's a little tricky part on this, because once the pump is too close to the block, you will have a problem with clearance with the glow plugs and everything that's on this side. So that's the only little tricky part. But if you start with the 45 degrees, have the pump pretty much mounted center on these bolts, you should most likely be in there. I hope this helps. I hope it shows a little better, because now I got a little better angle to get there. And yeah, let's see if I do another video on this engine, what I do with it. But for now, that's about it.